March 21st, 2023. How's it going, guys? Well, I got another video for you here. What are we going to be talking about today? Star seeds. And what is a star seed? Well, a star seed to me is actually, we're all kind of star seeds because, what makes up the universe, we have bits and pieces in all of us from the universe, guys. But we're going to go a little bit more depth. What you're looking at right now are several books from witchcraft and Wicca, our Sixth Sense, Shaman, Celtic Magic, the Holy Quran, the Book of Prayer of Pagan, the Holy Bible, Medicine Wheel, and World Religions. So let's talk about star seeds and hold on. Okay, guys, I'm back. And we brought this up yesterday. Paul Bigley, another YouTube channel, not affiliated with any other YouTube channels, was talking and did it was about 20-30 minute segment about star seeds. And some of the stuff in there just, to me, was way wrong. Because there are so many different star seed groups, just like there's Catholics and Jews and Baptists. Way, it was like it was all over. It would be like if we just crunched all the churches down into one and that was it. And not good. Because you can't really do that, can you? And there's too many groups out there. So, like I say, my definition of a star seed is we're all star seeds. We're made up of the universe. It just depends, basically, what's in our DNA. Where did we actually come from? And when we talk about that, that's when there's things that interfere with certain things in the Bible and church, different things and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about that. The first thing I want to talk about, though, get this right off the bat here, is it don't matter if it's a starseed group. It don't matter if it's a church group. All these groups seem to me, most of them, or I should say, I don't know, maybe almost all of them want money. Now, if you're here to do better good, and you're trying, why do you need that? And they all want you to do what they want you to do. Now, I follow Paul Bigley. I think he does a great YouTube channel. I think he's got a lot of good stuff. I like listening to Mike. And yesterday when he did all this, when he said some of the stuff, also, it contradicted some of the things that Mike had said. And I can back my stuff up, definitely. I don't know if you remember a couple weeks ago, Mike was talking about using a machine to boost, like, telekinesis. Now, what is telepathic? Telepathic is being able to send a message back and forth to be able to talk to someone. Telekinesis has been basically being able to move something, move that energy back and forth. And I'm going to get into that because I got a lot of evidence about certain things here. And when this was brought up, some of this other stuff got brought up, and I thought, whoa, that's way wrong. And that would contradict some of the things that Mike has said and other stuff then. So, we're going to talk about all that. But getting on with this first, I'm going to talk about the star seeds first. I don't belong to any starseed group. I joined one starseed group, but because so many of them wanted money, just like the churches all want money, okay? And they want you to do their narrative, okay? That's not good. Now, when Paul Bigley talked about this, he was kind of midway on the line, the way I looked at it. He tried to, basically, he defined, like I said, something about a gentleman that come up with this 20 years ago. Okay, now I don't know nothing about that. Like I say, I know that there was something about there's supposed to be like 1,444 warriors, and I don't know, some of that stuff seemed like BS too. And I was thinking, I just, I don't know. I don't know about that. But some of it even goes back to the Bible about angels. So I don't know. It's like I say. Now, I'm over 50 years old. I've never went to any certain kind of religion. I was raised, with basically knowing, right and wrong. And there's a lot about people should know about right and wrong, like good and evil. But some of this stuff, it's like the only thing on Paul Bigley's channel, the only thing that, he's always want people to get saved, to get baptized or whatever. But what if you didn't want to get baptized? Could he have an ally against evil or the devil or Satan? Could you still fight for the same cause if you didn't get saved? Well, then, they always say, well, you're going to burn in hell. Well, okay, but that would be a person's choice now, wouldn't it? Nobody else's. So you're telling me if I went to fight the devil or I went to fight evil, you wouldn't fight with me then because I'm not saved? See, this is where all these groups and church groups, and it don't matter if it's Starseeds, it don't matter if it's witchcraft, because we're going to talk about this. It's all the same. But like I say, I want to get this deal about Mike's deal real quick, because I want to address it. I address things real quick, and I like having things on hard drives and everything else. We're going to talk about something I come across in the last about 11 years. And basically, I've been through all different kinds of groups, from witchcraft to Reiki to oneness to Church of the Resurrection to Unity. And Unity uses this biokinetic energy is what it's actually called. If you look over the Asian, they call it chai energy, whatever you want to call it. But when he was talking about this a couple weeks ago, and he said that they had a machine. Well, I bet they did have a machine. Because I'm going to talk, it's amazing the things I've come across in Kansas City. Kansas City's a big hub for a lot of different things. Like I said, I've met people from all different walks of life. In the Pentagon, in Secret Service, CIA, all of it, guys. All of it. And we're going to talk about this. But this group actually was at Elite Summit. And it was basically, like I said, the oneness... not oneness, not oneness, but unity. They mess with this energy a lot. Now there's a deal I'll go back through later on down the line. I did a deal on unity a long time ago about how it got started. And it was kind of interesting, but what I found interesting is how this gentleman, he had I think it was his daughter was sick or whatever, and he went around getting money to, actually that's how the church got started. But there's a lot of other things about unity out there that people don't know. They acquired lots of different companies that actually was in more of a higher intelligent division for the government here. We won't go there because I want to go into this other part though. But so I go out here to a deal where it's supposed to be where this guy was a healer, okay, using the biokinetic energy. And he went by the hillbilly alien. And I'm kind of guy, I believe anything's possible. Anything's possible. Just like a suspicious observer says, oh, there's no dark energy. Anything's possible. Anything is possible. But it depends on how you look at it. Like I say, if you have a cigarette lighter, you light a cigarette lighter, if you were back in caveman time, they'd think that was like, oh, godlike or magic. But we all know that that's not the case. We know it's something mechanical that's been made. Okay, so getting on with this real quick. So I'm going out there, out at this group, this healing group. They had some of the best of the best from the Reiki, from the witchcraft. We had high priestess, we had priests there, we had a little bit of everything. And go out there, listen to this guy, and he's basically talking about this energy and stuff. But he had a machine with him that actually could measure the biokinetic energy off your body. Now, I'd still like to know. It was supposedly an expensive machine. I think it cost like a couple $100,000. But he talks about working with an old gentleman that worked on the first atomic bombs, okay? They were working on enhancing this energy, this telekinetic energy, to be able to push and pull things. And they were doing a pretty good job of it, what he said, until the government stepped in and took their equipment and took their machine. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh yeah, this is all BS. Well, we'll see how BS it is. So he first says, he said, I'm going to do something for everybody. It's going to really get everybody going. He said, I want everybody to stand up. He said, I'm going to push everybody backwards with my energy. And then I'm going to pull it forward. And I thought, oh yeah, right. So we all get up. And this guy, this hillbilly alien, he did it. But when his energy touched my energy, when he did that, my energy went off the scale. I mean, it went off the scale. And what do I mean by that? Like I said, I've always been psychic, and I could always sense things. But when he started doing his healing sessions, I could feel his energy that he was putting into these people, but I could also feel those people's pain, which in a way they would call it empathic. You could feel the other person's pain, but I could feel both. And that was amazing. And then I knew there was a lot more to all this. But a couple weeks back, Mike did say that they did have a machine that would enhance his ability. Now, either he was telling the truth or he was lying about it. I don't think Mike was lying about it. And but I was thinking about all this. But you know, Paul Bigley, he went into detail, and he's saying that basically that somebody, all the Starseeds, basically had schizophrenia. I don't know about that, but like I say, but he kind of smoothed it out. He said, well, even he said, I don't think that's all right. And I tell you why. That there's a very fine line here, and I'm going to talk about something else about witchcraft, and we're going to talk about Catholics. The thing of it is, if there's no deviation, okay, on anything, the Catholics, if they said there's no ghost, they wouldn't have much of a religion. Okay, you have to understand there's lots of different. Trying to talk about all this, it's intertwined a little bit more than people can sometimes even grasp. But even the Catholics practice certain rituals, certain things. I remember the witchcraft group. There was this one high priestess, and he was always going on and on and on and on about, when they do like the body of Christ and the wine's supposed to be the blood and stuff. Well, in certain, if people don't know this, the Catholics, basically, what do they do with that if all the wine, after they've blessed and done everything, what do they do with all that? In real Catholic churches, they have a place where they pour it back into the earth. They don't pour it just down the drain, like. In the witchcraft, what I found interesting too was about 98% of all the ones that had went to witchcraft were Catholic. Whoa, that shocked me in that sense. Now that excludes like Oneness and Church of the Resurrection, all the other groups. Some of them, I mean, they were other different denominations and stuff, into the Reiki and the other stuff. But getting on with this, Paul Bigley addressed so many different things. There's about 40 different things all at once on this. I thought, oh boy, how am I going to do this video and try to... But like I say, I sure wouldn't want to be classified in some of these categories as some of these Starseed groups, because they're just as bad as some of these other church groups that, like I say, and it's always seems about money, always. But in the witchcraft, I mean, I could make a lot of money, guys. I'm good at what I do. I mean, I should be doing healing and everything else, but here in Kansas City, you have to kiss butt and pay to get in groups, and I won't do that. So that's why I don't. That's, but and then we're going to also talk about reincarnation. Okay, now he said that supposedly that they're aliens, where starseeds are supposedly aliens that come from different planets that come here to do the better good. Starseeds, if they're a real starseed, they are here to do a better good. I mean, if you've seen an old woman walking down the sidewalk and she fell down, would you help her up? Well, hopefully most of us would, or at least maybe 50% in Kansas City would. But, it's knowing right from wrong. It's good and evil. Maybe the other 50% might run over and grab the old lady's purse and run off with it. What do you think? So, here you go. I mean, but the only thing, let's get on first with the reincarnation. Now, I don't know that much about reincarnation. I know some about reincarnation. And I know there's some people that just, because it's always about belief. It's always about these people are hungry for something. They're longing. They're missing something out of their lives. It's like they can't get up. It's like I went to an atheist group for a while too. And it's like, this guy, he said, what makes you get up in the morning? And I said, well, I get up in the morning because I like looking, at the sun coming up. Oh, well, I can't, that ain't enough for me. I have to have more than that. Why? You're not happy? Well, maybe that's it. They're not happy. If you're happy and you enjoy your life, but you're not happy about getting up every morning and seeing the sun come up? I don't know. But it doesn't matter if it's an atheist group. It doesn't matter if it's a church group. It don't matter if it's a Starseed group. It's all the same. But, okay, my deal, I'm going to talk a couple minutes, too, about a couple things. And a couple other things I want to address, too, real quick, too. Now, if I was... Like I say, I'm over 50 years old, and I've never been in any certain religion. I did marry a Catholic. I was married for 18 years, and to get this, to be a Catholic, I had to pay money. You have to pay money if you're not a Catholic to marry a Catholic. Well, that's a good religion, isn't it? Oh yeah. Another great thing here. And then I think about all the Catholics when it comes to the abortions and everything else. I mean, it's one of the ladies that I was married to 18 years, half of her sisters that had abortions, and they were hiding the stuff and everything else. It's just crazy stuff. But getting on with that, even getting into the reincarnation part. And something that happened to me when I was 15 years old. And this is what I want to get into also about, okay, what they would say an angel or God, okay? And what we're going to talk about, when I was 15 years old, hard worker. I get up 4:30, 5 a.m. on the weekends with my dad, go to Swap and Shop. I'd go up about 4:30 in the morning, start his vehicle up, start his truck up. I was about 15 years old. So, thing of it was, I go out one morning, still dark out, sitting in the truck, started up. There's a light off to my left side. And I think it's somebody across the street. I mean, that, somebody with bright lights or something. Light comes around in front of me. It's a big old ball about this big. Bigger than a basketball. But in between a basketball and a globe. Now, this didn't give off no heat. It didn't hurt my eyes, really. And it sat there and it hovered like it was looking at me. Just like if we go to the zoo and look at the animals, it was looking at me. Almost like it was there saying, "Hey, I wanted to come see." Almost like if you wanted to see your grandkids or something, like something that was connected DNA wise to you. So then all of a sudden it just shot straight up in the air and disappeared. It's gone. And I'm from the 80s, so I'm a Star Trek and sci-fi kind of guy. I believe anything's possible. So I just figured it was probably, I told my parents about it and stuff, and I just figured it was some kind of alien probe that was looking at us there. Little down the line would I know years and years here later that it was actually a light beam. But where I go with this, I believe a light being that came back, that descended from that. I'm a descendant from it, and it wanted to see me. Now, we're going to talk about this for a second. Now, what if I was religious? Real religious, okay? Now, we're going to talk about that for a second. I'm going to show this. This is the Ark of the Covenant, also known as the Ark of the Testimony, the Ark of God. Well, you have these two, like angels that sit up on top of this, okay? And God is supposed to be on their wings. Now, something was brought up about this. Now, if God was, say, pure energy and light itself, like a light beam, wouldn't you think that was God? So then if I was religious, I'd say, God came and seen me. Or I could say it was an angel. An angel. I was touched by God. I was touched by an angel. Now, I'm just looking for the truth out there. And I'm not looking like everybody else is. If the truth comes, if you see things, that's fine. If you don't, no big deal. Because I'm happy where I'm at. But lots of people aren't. And where I'm going to go with this now, we're going to talk about reincarnation. Now, I don't know. I feel that we are a mixture. Now, he did go into that about some of it. He did go in and talk about some of us who were created by certain different aliens. I think Paul Bigley said. And yeah, I do believe we were a mixed up bunch. They mixed us. Now, I believe it was over there in by where Iran, Russia, Mongolia, China, all those areas, Israel, all those areas over there, I believe that's origin. Definitely. But we're going to go from there. So I have a couple of visions from reincarnation. And the first vision I have is coming in on a ship, a white ship. Now, I'm not one of these guys like, you always hear, well, the white light, and all this. No. But I can't lie about what I seen. I was on a ship with a whole bunch of individuals coming into planet Earth. And we were on a white vessel, a big one. Now, one of these people on this ship, I actually know is in a witchcraft group. And basically also has basically reincarnated. But there you go again. Some of these ones that were supposed to come here and do good have went rogue, went bad, or say they've had to fight the other ones and they don't. They've walked away from some of it. They walked away from their duties, what they were supposed to do here in the first place, I guess. To do good. To promote. Maybe not just to say do good, maybe to promote good things. That's a better thing. And to me, a real starseed, if any starseed ever wants money, I think they're probably not a real starseed, guys. All this stuff is based on money, the churches, the witchcraft. I mean, I could make a lot of money. Only thing I have to do is I had to pay about $300 or $1,000 and go to a Reiki group or go to that, and I could, or do a tarot card. I have to go get ordained. See, in Missouri, you have to get ordained to be able to do tarot readings. See, so guess what? It's all about the money, The state makes the money from them, and then the other ones, you pay a group, a witchcraft group, to be in to do the tarot cards. So it's all about the money, Yeah. Well, I'm not all about the money, but getting on with this. So, a few of these visions that I had coming in here, I would see certain stars and planets, different things, and over the last few years, I would sometimes draw these, okay, because they were amazing. I mean, it's some of the stuff I was seeing. And then, maybe a few months later, Suspicious Observer, or like What Da Math, would post certain new photos that they had just got, out there from the either satellites or telescopes, or maybe the Hubble, I don't know. I mean, they were posting them from different sites, different places. And some of the stuff that I drew matched identical. But there was one thing. It was in reverse. And at first I was thinking, why in the, or is this in reverse? Now, I didn't give it much thought about the ship. I thought, maybe, I don't know. But then I got thinking, well, if you were coming into this planet and you were seeing, whether it be a constellation or a star or something, from you would be reverse. It would be at a different, like that. So I don't know. But very, very strange on all that. Definitely. So that's one thing about all this. But then I had another vision. I had a vision that I was over, and it looked like it was kind of like Egypt or Israel. And there's always unique things. I look around in my visions when I'm having these, it's like stuff, you wouldn't think of, but distinct things. Like, I'm on this pyramid, and in this vision, I'm an ambassador standing by a princess on these pyramids. But the pyramids don't have no pointed tops on them, which I found odd, because I thought all pyramids, and this is before I did research and all this other stuff, I thought all pyramids were pointed. So this was, yeah. And then there was these two chairs made out of stone that you could sit on. Now we weren't sitting on the chairs. We were standing up, and I was overlooking, like, it looked like, I don't know, a couple 100,000 people standing below us. Now, that's pretty wild. That's something. So, is there aliens? Is there hybrids? Is there, that reincarnate? Could be. Now, I will say one thing. When Paul Bigley talked about this, there's only one thing about all this also that kind of gets to me. There's one thing, he, like I said, was saying that basically, what am I looking to say here? Well, he said the Starseeds. He said that there was a deal about schizophrenia, about like that and stuff. And but then he hauled around. He said he wouldn't go that far. And I think I know why they don't want to do that because about stuff like that because the Catholics, there's deviation in the things that the Catholics do, even about the ghost. If you do that, you can't have visions, you can't have prophets, you can't have any of the rest of all that. Okay? So then it's just about what their narrative is then. My big question would be is, okay, you know how they're always talking about, Paul Bill, talking about evil. See, I believe I believe there's just good and I believe there's evil. Okay? And you have to combat that. But when he sits there, but all these groups always have something about control, okay? And even his, to one point, he asked them to be baptized, to be saved. Well, now my deal would be say, well, if I stand there and say I'd fight the devil, I'd fight the devil, I'd fight Satan with you, but I don't want to be saved. Well, you'll burn in hell. Well, it's my choice. But my belief is different. But if I sit here and stand here with you as an ally to fight, would you fight with me as an ally? See, that's the thing. Would they? Or is it all just about controlling? See, I don't know. I just I know one YouTube channel, not affiliated with any YouTube channels. Check out EE Arts. These guys have been around for a long time. Husband and wife, they teach, and very excellent. Very up on all theologies. Can, like I say, number one. You guys want to learn everything, check their channel out. But on this, like I say, but the other starseeds too, these starseed groups too are not, like I say, there's lots of them out there. They're just out for the money. They have their own agendas too. So when he said this, he kind of, it'd be like saying, one thing I just want to say, it'd be like saying, putting all the religions in one. There's not just one starseed group. That'd be like, Catholic, Jews, Baptists, evangelists, all of it. I mean, they're not all the same, are they? All these, there's lots of different starseed groups. So, to classify it in all one lump sum is not a good thing, guys. And, I'm just trying to think of everything else that he said. I'm in my head here because, God, so much was said in about 20 or 30 minutes of this thing. Like I say, I was going to say one other thing, too. Like us when we went over to the Gulf Wars and stuff. You know how witchcraft became a religion? Well, you know why I think witchcraft became a religion is because they couldn't hide this energy anymore. So many of our men and women had went over there. They found out about it. And it would just destroy the infrastructure of all the different other religions then. Which, I think that's some of this problem now. Because, instead of just saying, hey, we know the truth, we need to talk about it, but then people aren't going to be happy, the ones that have practiced all these different other church religions and stuff. So, but, we're in 2023, come on, guys. Let's evolve a little bit more. I think that's the problem with some of this stuff. We're supposed to be doing better. But anyway, I'm trying to think of anything else, guys. Hold on. Causing all this. We talked about the reincarnation. We talked about Starseed. Talked about the groups. Thinking about that real quick for a second. But Paul Bigley did say that basically he believes that they're, he said that they're out to do good. Well, I believe all starseeds that are actually legit are out to do good. They're out to do good, definitely. But like I say, there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff. You know, it's like when Mike's trying to talk about things and not talk about things that are classified. There's lots of things out there that people don't know about that's going on about all this. And like I say, I mean, I could make lots of money if I wanted to go do Reiki and the rest. I mean, because the only thing I do, but it's all about money, guys. I mean, it would be fun to go do that. I wouldn't mind doing that. My energies are very powerful, very. But the problem with that is, like I say, I mean, they want to control everything, and I won't do it. Now, there's some groups I've thought about that are international here that I might down the line go do, but I'm not going to do anything locally here. Definitely not, because I've also been to those groups, and I mean, I get to think one night I watched this one gal. It was over at this one bar over kind of on the Kansas side, and she was doing astrology for everybody, and oh my God, she made like, I don't know, it was like either, I can't remember, it was like $1,400 or $2,400 in one night, just doing just a group of people of not very many. And I was thinking, whoa, boy, there's big money. There's big money in that. There's big money in religion. There's big money, and then but it's all about somebody's putting it in their pocket somewhere, guys. Which, I mean, but then I get thinking about this deal, like I say, about what I seen could be classified as God or an angel, And if I wanted to really say, oh, I seen the light. I've seen the light. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to lie. And this energy is real. And as we go down this path, everybody's going to find out a lot more about everything. But anyway, guys, I got another video coming. I've had another vision. And it's interesting. It's also about Ukraine. If you guys want to check it out, check it out. I'll have it later today. So, eyes open. And like I say, I'm not affiliated with any other YouTube channels whatsoever. But I just wanted to make sure that the Starseeds all don't get a bad rap. And there's many Starseed groups out there. And not all of them are good either. Anyway, guys, keep your eyes open and have a good one.